How has Ben being the champ 4 times, man? Drunk.
I was hammered at 3 days out, blackout in Vegas at the club.
What?
It's tiring. Need a lot of naps.
Your new engagement to Miss Courtney King. How has that been, man?
It's a great question.
What stood out about her the most?
Obsession with her body, obsession with clout, her social media, her followers, like this. Like,
what does a day in the life look like?
I literally don't have the answer to that.
I'm a savage. When are you getting married?
Probably like 6 months or so, maybe.
What?
You're very outgoing, talkative, funny, like, you know.
Keep saying nice things about me, man.
What the fuck do you know, man? Your legs are fucking tiny.
That's it.
Champion mentality.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Don't Be Sour. I am your host, Max Tuning, and today we are sitting down with the 4-time classic physique champion, all the way from somewhere in Florida, Chris Bumstead. What's up, dude?
What's going on? Technically all the way from Canada, but
all the way from Canada, now down in the pits of Florida.
The pits of Florida.
Dude, this is the first time I'm trying Bum Energy.
You're one of the first of many to try Bum Energy, honestly.
It smells like orange. We have an orange sunrise. Get a close-up of this can right here.
Big moment of truth right now.
I just had an orgasm. Yeah.
That's a good take. I'm gonna clip that right there and use that.
Kel Mitchell would love this.
Who's that?
Come on, you get that reference.
Kel Mitchell?
How old are you?
28.
20. Okay. Who loves orange sunrise Bum Energy? Kel loves orange. What? Oh my God, bro.
This like.
Welcome to Good Burger, homo. The Good Burger.
Never watched that.
Maybe it's a Canada thing. It can't be an age thing because you're definitely in the range.
Maybe I'm just
there.
Uncultured.
Well, you know, we ran into each other yesterday at the gym, and which is always awkward before I meet, or whenever I'm gonna interview someone and I meet them before I'm supposed to interview them. It's kind of strange because I don't want to have that much conversation because I'm too afraid that we're not gonna have anything to talk about.
I'm gonna ruin it for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was just kind of like, hey man, what's up? All right, bye. I'm gonna go work out in the corner by myself, even though I'm here for you.
And then come back and say one more thing and leave again really quick.
Yeah, but when I talked to you, I was like joking around about what kind of questions you wanted to get asked, and you were saying that you don't want to talk about your muscles and everything. Is that like pretty much what everyone just wants to talk about? Bodybuilding?
I mean, a lot of people for sure. I think I try and avoid those podcasts. You know, if it's someone who's just like, how do you get a bigger chest? How do you put on muscle? You know, or like you go like when you're at events and someone's like, what's the number one thing I can do to get a bigger chest? And I'm like, I don't fucking know, man. Like, work out. Like, I don't have these secret answers, you know? They get old. And I know you're not super into that either, so I didn't think
Why would you say that?
Because you're already so big and muscular that you don't need any more tips.
Are you? That's true.
Yeah.
I personally, whenever I do a podcast, I always want to make sure that I, ask questions that maybe aren't the normal that they answer, or that goes a little more in depth, because I feel like the surface level stuff is already been answered a million times, especially with you, because you've been on a million interviews with all of your massive success over the years. So I want to make sure I ask super deep, unique questions. So in your opinion, the best way to improve your lats, would you say it's to squeeze at the bottom of the lat pull down? Is it slow reps or is it fast reps?
All the above. Everything.
Okay,
together,
dude.
all in one.
We're gonna get deep on here, dude.
I expected nothing less.
How has Ben being the champ 4 times, man?
It's been good. It's been a very interesting journey, like ups and downs throughout it, but it's been fun to have enough time up there where I can learn how to handle it enough to enjoy it properly. Because I found like the first time I won, I was a little like stressed about it and more relieved that I won, and was more literally relief. I felt relief because I was anxious. I felt like there was a lot of expectation and pressure on me, and then there was a little bit less every single year, to the point where last year I was literally able to just step in there and enjoy it, win or lose, like just be grateful to be there and enjoy every moment. And I wouldn't have been able to experience that unless I had done it 4 years in a row with the experience, So now it's just like something I look forward to more, of having less stress and pressure around it and being able to just enjoy it.
The Physique Classic is a new-ish category, right?
Yeah, it's been around for 7 years.
Okay, so new-ish, and so you've won 4 of them. Are you going to win the next 4? When are you done?
That's $1 million question.
When are you going to let someone else win, dude?
I'm going to hand the trophy over when I'm ready, but I literally don't have the answer to that.
I believe it was. I mean, it wasn't physique, but like Ronnie Coleman won like 8 times and then lost to Jay Cutler, who's coming up on the podcast very soon, guys. And like, are you just going to keep competing, or do you think you'll ever just be like, I've won a lot?
I think I'm definitely going to be someone. My goal, at least, I would say, is to exit on top with more in me. Like the idea of selling a business on the rise rather than at the peak before it drops. Like I want to like exit on the rise, so I like have more in me, but I'm making the active decision to leave because that's my choice. I'm ready for it, and I'm healthy. I'm like good to go. I still have a lot of life to live, and I'm like excited for the next part of my life.
Yeah, you definitely always want to go out on top. See, I should have quit my YouTube like 3 years ago when I was like up here.
That's when I stopped watching your YouTube too. Yeah.
And now I'm like the fucking Joker, bro. Just like turn it into the villain.
Yeah, just
because see, for you is like you can't get second place ever and then be like, all right, I'm done, because then everyone's like, dude, you're gonna leave on second.
And that's all they remember you for.
You just But
brutal.
you're gonna go again for the 5th.
I will go for the 5th, and it sounds like a political answer, but like even talking in private with my fiance Courtney, I'm like, I can only think of it 1 year at a time. I'm someone who I have a lot going on outside my life, so I enjoy all that as well. So maybe one day that will be more interesting to me. I also have some health issues, and I'm very conscious of my health. So if I like do my blood work and my checkups and something's going in a direction I don't want it, I'm going to be like, yo, I'm done. And I have no control over it. I have a little bit of control over that, but not ultimate control. So if that time comes where I'm done, I'm going to step out. So all I can really think about is 1 year at a time. So my focus is literally just on winning one more. So that's my only answer. And then after that, if I feel good, I'm healthy, I'm still loving what I do and excited for another one, I'll do another one. But I don't think I'm going to go much past the age of like 30. So
it's like
2 or 3 more
that
years.
Lil Wayne song, 5-Pete, you want to get your 5-Pete and then you're out.
Is that a Lil Wayne song?
I think it's something like that. What's crazy is with all your social media and stuff, do you just have like a backlog of 800 photos that you just like spread out after you win? Because every time I'm like, damn, he's still just like half naked shredded glute photos from the show.
Try and put in the caption and be like peak week something, or like referencing the past, and people are like, how are you so lean all the time? I'm like, this was 6 months ago. Because the beauty of me, I only compete once a year.
Yeah.
Because when you win Olympia, you qualify for life, so I don't need to do any more qualifications. So right after the Olympia, I literally take like time off the gym. This year I tore my bicep, so I took 8 weeks off training completely. Didn't even work out. And then so obviously I lose a lot of muscle, and then I'm just like in a health phase, letting my body recover, trying to like get down any stress, cortisol, inflammation over like injuries in my body. And then I look like shit in those times. So
you do. I can tell you've lost a lot of muscle.
That's why I wear these big shirts and big shorts,
How did you tear your bicep? Was it something cool, or were you like, I was picking up a 10-pound dumbbell and tweaked it?
Neither. I don't remember.
You were drunk.
I was hammered at 3 days out, blackout in Vegas at the club. No, I literally woke up one day and it kind of hurt. And I was like, my bicep's kind of sore, but like, you're so lean and dehydrated. I'm like, whatever, everything kind of hurts. And then Thursday before the show, I'm like, it really hurts. Friday, it hurt even more. And then Friday night, it started to look all red and swollen. And I'm like sick, like no injuries for a year. And now the day before I compete, my bicep's like torn and inflamed.
How does your muscle just tear without, like one of the owners of Ghost, Ryan Hughes, he was doing like a preacher curl towards bicep, and he very much explained, he's like, yeah, like ripped, and you heard it like spiral up in your thing, and I'm like, I don't want to hear any of this right now. But you just have shitty luck. Yeah.
Well, luckily, on the positive side, not shitty luck, it was only a mild tear in the muscle belly, so it wasn't off the bone. Like mine didn't pop up. It was just like in the middle, it tore up a little bit. So I'm guessing I had like a micro tear from training that wasn't quite bad enough to get inflamed. And then when I got really dehydrated and there's no water in my muscle and I was like posing, I think it just pulled it a little bit too much. So I didn't feel it, but enough to start causing inflammation and swelling in my arm.
Because your muscle is just too damn big. Your body's just like, be like, it's about to go to the next size and I can't, I'm just going to tear.
I guess so.
With all of the success that you've had from winning a whole bunch of times, which is super dope, your popularity on social media has skyrocketed like through the roof. You're like, I say this is a nice way, you're like a real celebrity. I don't
know about that.
You are the most famous person that I know.
Oh, thank you.
I think if you get over 1 million likes on Instagram, you're Kardashian level. I don't know if that's a good thing to be Kardashian level.
I'm definitely not Kardashian level. See, I look at it in like, there's like fitness celebrities, and then there's real celebrities, and then there's a little gap in between. Sometimes I float in that gap, but it's still a niche, because like I'll go to most grocery stores and no one knows who the fuck I am.
What?
Like real celebrities like the Kardashians can't even leave their house. depending on the state. Like if I'm in Texas for some reason, I go to a gas station, a grocery store, whatever. 1 or 2 people maybe stop me, or the gyms, of course. But it's typically just in gym settings.
I think you know how like when you go anywhere and you see someone who's, I don't know, like 6'7" or taller, you're always like to someone like, dude, that guy's fucking tall as shit. Like he must play basketball, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what people probably just are like, how massive this guy is. He must work out. Like look at the buns on that thing.
That's the beauty of classic physique though. And also that I only compete once a year, so I don't always need to be so big and shredded. But like because of my weight cap, a lot of people, and the way I dress, I don't wear like tight clothes or anything. I wear like oversized stuff all the time. Like every time
what size shirt do you wear? Let me get triple XL?
Usually double XL. But I wear like oversized fit double XL. But like on the plane every time, like 10 times on a plane in the last year, I sit down and someone's like, "Are you in the NFL? Do you play football?" And I like that. I like looking athletic rather than like a bodybuilder, you know?
You should be like, yeah, you know the Dallas Cowboys? Yeah, you know the quarterback? Yeah, no, I'm not him. I just...
Not me, but I wish I was. I wish the Olympia paid me that much, but...
Did you grow up playing any sports?
I played football, basketball, and track and field in high school and then stopped after high school.
Were you always like a larger human?
Yeah.
Like at what age were you like, I know that I'm not like my friends in terms of my genetic ability to get larger than them?
I would say grade 10, so 2010, I was 15. I started working out when I was like 14, and I immediately like just started putting on muscle. Because I was a skinny kid to begin with, but I just put on muscle really easily. And in grade 10, I was like bringing chicken and rice to school, like getting my protein in. I didn't give a fuck about bodybuilding. Didn't know what bodybuilding was. I didn't have magazines. Didn't look up to any bodybuilders. I just loved working out, and I wanted to be big and jacked for football and basketball. And I also like got attention for like putting on muscle, and it was like cool. So I'm like, you know, young kid trying to find his way in life. What's giving me some attention right now? Like muscles, like chase it, you know?
So you started lifting because of the love of putting on size and just lifting weight? It wasn't like I started for the babes.
For the babes.
Yeah. It didn't really work out for me, but I started fitness because I wanted to. I thought that's what girls wanted. I was like, if I'm shredded,
yep.
I've been sitting here with this fuzz on my knee this whole episode. I'm like, if I'm shredded, more girls will like me. Turns out, it's just all your dude friends that are like, you look sick, man.
Yeah.
You look fucking great.
Well, there's
girls
like
don't care.
There's like a peak to it, you know? You start rising, and then girls like that you're fit and you take care of your body, and then all of a sudden you get too shredded or too big, and it's just like, no, it's too much. I don't like it. So then that's when it becomes for the boys, you know?
With Courtney, do you have like most... Obviously, a lot of my friends are in the fitness world. I'll use like Christian, for example, with his girlfriend, Heidi. Mm-hmm. She's always like, I prefer him in his, she calls it like the fluffy mode. Like, I prefer him in like the thicker mode because he can eat whatever he wants. He's not like worried, whatever. Whereas we you know, we obviously relate a lot. You know, we want to be as lean as possible, or not lean as possible, but like we want to look really good. And I feel like guys have a lot of body dysmorphia issues where I think people generally think it's women who are always, you know, oh my God, like I hate this. Not everyone, but I think like I look in the mirror when I'm 6 pounds overweight, right? And I'm like, oh my God, there's a little bit of back fat going on here.
Yeah.
I need to diet. Does Courtney like lean Chris? Or what kind of Chris are you right now? I'm
like mid-ground. Like let's say this is lean, this is my biggest. I'm like at an 8, you know?
Oh,
or
so
7
like,
maybe. So I'm just like chilling right now. I'm working out but not trying to be big yet, and I'm definitely not shredded. But Courtney definitely likes me husky. She likes me with like, I had a mullet for a while and a big beard, and like I was like 260 pounds, and that's her favorite look. I like the middle. Like, so my leanest is 240 pounds, my biggest is 265. I like being like 250, right in the middle.
That is so much mass to just like walk around with at all times.
It can be, yeah. It's tiring. You need a lot of naps. It's
like crazy. Do you remember, and this is going to be awkward if it wasn't you, but I'm pretty sure it was you. Didn't you, me, and Christian eat Torchy's tacos like years ago drinking margaritas?
We did, yeah. That was around the time when I still watched your YouTube. And I remember
you could still watch them. You could still watch.
I'll go back and watch it after this, I promise. I'll catch up. For the last 3 years. But I met you, and
You've been watched for 3 years? Oh my God. We're gonna have a problem, dude.
Anyways, I met you, and I don't think you knew who I was at all at the time.
I didn't. Had you won the Olympia?
I think I'd won one. I think I just won. I literally had just won an Olympia like a month before. And then I came and I was Christian, and I pulled up to Alpha Land or whatever, Alpha Lead at the time, and you come up and you're like, you're that dude with the mustache.
I did say that.
Yeah, that's what you said to me. And I remember dying. I'm like, this is hilarious. I knew exactly who you were, and you just had no idea. And then, yeah, we went to Torchy's Tacos and shit.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I always, whenever people are referencing you, I bring back that point, and I'm
That
like,
moment.
dude, I've known Chris kind of before he was, super cool,
Back
dude.
in the day.
We used to get margaritas together.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
You got to know me for Chris. You met me rather than finding who I was on social media. So
That's true. You probably prefer that, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I was watching some of the other podcasts that you've done recently, because you just mentioned how you used to watch my content, and you said in an interview, you said, in 2014, I would watch people such as Callum Von Moger and Christian Guzman. Those were the glory days on YouTube. Now, I noticed you didn't say me. Would you not consider me some of the glory days?
You were, but that was like 2015. I know I wasn't in the proper.
Like, I was
year
looking for
that.
people who were seriously into fitness, not just yanking
I
a
honestly
deadlift bar
think
off the ground.
after a point though, like it was after that, I did watch your stuff more than that, because I've never really liked watching like fitness YouTube.
Yeah.
Like when I first was like, I want to get on YouTube, I want to do this, I was like watching people because it was interesting to me. And now I don't really care about fitness YouTube myself. But I remember you would like fucking drive places, set your camera up, leave, drive back 10 minutes, and then drive forward 10 minutes just to film yourself again, and just like this crazy shit and your humorous stuff. And it was funny and very well thought out and a lot of effort into it. So I commend you for that.
Thanks, man.
And it was actually interesting to watch. But
I think the biggest thing that I've learned on social is people, usually, like I was talking before the podcast, how people kind of come for one specific thing. Mine was the deadlifts at the time, and then they stay for the personality, and the personality is how you create longevity in a sport, because I feel, or not sport, or just like in a
industry.
Yeah, exactly. With you, do you think a lot, because there's a lot of popular bodybuilders, physique people, but I almost feel, and I'm not hardcore into that world, as you can clearly tell, but to like know all the people, I know the big names that are like kind of personalities rather than just their amazing physique. And I feel like a lot of people don't take advantage of like the success that they truly could have, because they're more like hardcore in the bodybuilding world rather than trying to build like a community of people, I think. Do you think, I feel like you've like let people in, maybe people can't relate to how big they can get looking at, versus you, but I feel like a lot of the reason of your popularity on like social and, your clout is because you're the first kind of relatable guy who's in a different like level, but like relatable. Yeah. And I feel like you let people into your life. Was that like a strategy, or?
It wasn't on purpose. No, it was more like when I first started getting into bodybuilding and YouTube, I was like, there's a gap between influencers and bodybuilders, and I don't know why there's not a middle ground. And I never wanted to be that big bodybuilder who was like 300 pounds and no one wanted to look like I didn't want to look like. And I didn't just want to be an influencer because I loved competing and the competitiveness of it. So I kind of wanted to mix the two of those, and I was almost like, what's the word, intimidated by the concept of a lot of the people I saw online. Like
everyone's like hardcore.
Either really hardcore or like a big personality. Like you were a big personality, you had a lot of humor. There's that about you. You're very outgoing, talkative, funny, like,
Keep saying nice things about me, man.
Beautiful, huge legs, huge calves.
Nice.
Anyways, then I was like, I'm just like a fucking kind of quiet, introverted, shy person. Like that's boring as fuck to watch on YouTube. So it kind of kept me away from doing it for a while. And then I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to just try and I'm not going to like act like something on social media. I'm just going to literally like present my life. And I always make jokes now that my YouTube is the most boring thing in the world because I'm a boring person, but people like it because it is real. And I've always had this like aspect, like if you ask me to even have a script to read something, like when we're doing like a video for Raw or something, I have to read a script rather than just say what I'm thinking, I can't do it. Like I can't act and I can't be fake. So when there's something going on and like I'm in prep and I'm filming every day and I'm having a shitty day, or I'm like anxious about something or whatever, if I'm like acting like tough and nothing bothers me, I can't even act like that because it's just not who I am.
Just gotta have a good cry,
So I have a good cry, and then I'll just share it. I'll be like, I've had a few moments where I've literally been told people about in prep, I'm like in the bathroom on the floor crying and my girlfriend's there and I just like don't know if I can do it, and people are like, fuck, like he's human.
And she's like, slap out of it.
Wake up, bitch, you little pussy. But no, I think it is exactly like you said. I think a lot of people, a lot of bodybuilders, at least they have this really like hardcore, like even a lot of champions, to be completely honest, in the world. Like Michael Jordan is, people love him and it's so fascinating, but he's so unrelatable. I can't fathom having that killer mindset all the time of just needing to win, killing everybody, don't even think about losing, because that's not who I am. I literally fear sometimes. I am afraid that I'm going to lose. I have like fear in outcomes and stuff because I don't know the outcome. And I've said things such as like, I'm okay with losing.
Yeah.
And people are like, that's not a champion mindset.
You don't have like the Mayweather mindset of just like, I'm the best, everyone sucks, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of everyone.
Not at all. No, I'm like, fuck, these people are really good. It's gonna be really fucking hard. And I've like, even when I was talking about the relief I used to feel in 2019, and I used to feel like I had to win, especially after I won, I'm like, now the pressure's on. But when I gave myself the permission to be like, it's okay losing, it kind of takes you out of a state of reaction, because you're not fearing an outcome. You're just accepting whatever's going to come, and it gives you permission to just like act however you want to act and chase after what you want to chase after. And I think that outcome on anything in life is so important, to not like expect and need a desired outcome, but understand anything could happen. But regardless of the outcome, you're going to give your best effort to whatever you hope for and whatever you dream for.
Yeah.
And I think just like showing that mindset of myself allows people to be like, whether they want to be a bodybuilder or not, whether it's a career they want to get a job interview, whatever, they can be like, all right, Chris is fucking scared of doing the Olympia. What the fuck? I can be scared of this job interview or asking this girl out, whatever the fuck it might be. Those are very traditional things. And then if I fail, okay, but at least I tried, and I'm going to learn from my failures and get better at it. And through that process, there will be ups and downs. But on the other end, who the fuck cares? You learn from it, you know?
That's a good mindset.
I just think through sharing that stuff, people are like, wow, if he can do that at this level of the Olympia, we can do it for whatever. So I think that relatability is something people have connected with, hopefully. And I think my biggest pride that I hear is exactly like you said. People might come for your guests or your deadlifts or my physique, but they stay because of my character. Yeah. And the biggest compliment that anyone can give me is that, like, they think the success I have or the people of whatever I have in my life, whatever like beautiful things in my life, are because of who I am as a person rather than my body or my accomplishments. Because I have no control over that shit, but I always have control over my character.
You're like, I'm more than striated glutes.
Exactly.
I
not
have
just
depth,
a booty,
guys.
You know? But I still post the booty pics because they're there, you know? But
you know, speaking of all the booty pics you post, so you and I obviously, I mean, we know each other for many, many years. This is our first super in-depth kind of like chat.
Yeah, you make it sound like we're best friends. You know, we hang out every
No, we
years.
are best friends. And after this, we are going to be best friends. You gave me your phone number, which was the worst idea ever. I'm going to be blowing your phone up all the time.
I just want some more torchies, honestly.
I know. We can get margaritas after this. I'll be hammered on my flight home.
Beautiful.
On your Instagram, I like to just rile up the world with some of my comments, right? That it's just so interesting. Like, obviously your following is huge, so I would understand why people don't know who I am or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the amount of responses that I get from people who are just, you know, sticking up for you, and they think that I'm just making some half-ass comment. Like, what did I say just recently about the way you were on the I'll put it on the screen. You were on the Smith machine doing some workouts, and I'm like, I said, like, you'll never get big using the Smith machine. You need some guidance, buddy. Yeah. And bro,
people took it personally.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like, they're ripping into me, but serious. Not like, it's funny, there's like maybe 120 replies, and like 5 of them are like Max being Max, or like everyone doesn't know Max, but everyone else is like, you look at you, bro. Do you think you know anything? Chris is the champion, bro. I'm like, it's so interesting.
It's hilarious when it then turns into battles on battles on battles. Someone would be like, "What the fuck do you know, man? Your legs are fucking tiny." And someone like, "Don't you know this guy? It's obviously a joke. They're friends." It's like, they're not fucking friends. It's serious. And then now they're battling about whether we're friends or not. And then there's all these conversations. But
do you think they could just like go on yours or mine and see that like we follow each other?
I don't think people put those together normally. They just aspire to defend.
Now it's my mission. I don't want to be the guy that like, every photo you're like, Max is going to fucking say something dumb again. But I definitely, when the opportunity is there, I strike.
Don't force it. But when like you see one and you're like, I got an idea.
I just know, I'm like, I bet I can say something witty to get top comment on this. People. You know, the last thing I want to talk about with your social media kind of world, I don't know if you're open to share this, but with someone like you're following, and I see the amount of engagement you get on your stuff, just so people, because this would relate to people, because people know their numbers. Mm-hmm. Can you say how many views you get on your Instagram stories?
It depends. It varies, but it'll be like 1.5 to 2.5 million.
What?
At times, yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
If I post too, like sometimes like I own Raw now and we're having a bunch of drops and I'm posting too much like shit to like buy this, it will go down to like 1,900,000.
God, I hate when that happens when it only goes down to 1 million.
But if I'm like posting actual shit, it goes up for sure. Yeah.
I think just to put it in perspective, my lifetime, the highest number I ever saw is I think I was like traveling for an event in Vegas and posting crazy shit. And usually when I travel, it goes up a little bit. I think I broke 100,000 one time.
Pretty crazy, I know.
And now I live in like 50 to 80 kind of range.
Yeah.
That is wild, bro. That is so many eyes.
It is. That's why sometimes I just don't even think about it, you know? Because I don't want to be like, okay, 1 million people are going to see this. Like, what should I say? It's like, no, I'm just going to post whatever.
People are going to hear this and be like, I get 12. Like, that's insane, bro. But it's much deserved because I think you let people in your life, you're relatable, and you're, I would say, certified cool guy.
Appreciate it.
And a lot with letting people
pin
in.
For that?
Yes, you get a Boy Scout badge.
Beautiful.
Do they have Boy Scouts in Canada? Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts?
Yeah, they have something along those lines.
What do they call them in Canada?
Eagle Scout? No, that's here.
Eagle Scouts like the top of the Boy Scouts.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
No.
Maybe it's Boy Scouts.
Canada's got funny money and stuff like. Isn't the Canadian dollar the one you can't rip it?
Yeah, waterproof, so you can put it in the washing machine. It stays perfect.
That's kind of weird. That's like a feature of it.
Yeah.
Well, and they did like, the United States could never do this shit. Have fun wasting your $1 bill in the wash.
Stupid $1 bills you all lose. Yeah.
Well, bro, with like letting everyone in your life, the biggest thing that you're very public about your beautiful relationship, your new engagement to Miss Courtney King, to Bay. How has that been, man?
It's been good, honestly. It's obviously relationships are a journey. And we've never pretended like it's perfect. And sometimes people are always like, oh my God, you got a couple goals, it's perfect. And we'll literally be like, we're not. Sometimes we fucking hate each other. But it's like, not actually hate each other.
She's going to go,
what the fuck? But like, it's real though. It's genuinely real. And I'm very grateful she came into my life when she did. Because it was right in 2018, I got sick. And I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and I thought I was never going to be able to compete again. And she got really sick competing at the Olympia as well, and she was unable to compete. So she was like having to leave the sport at a time where she didn't want to. Like we spoke about how I want to leave when I'm ready. She had to leave when she wasn't ready. I'm not going to tell her whole story, but that allows her to really like understand on a deeper level more than most people would be able to.
Yeah.
The fear I felt around my health and the attachment I've had to winning and the attachment I am removing from so that I don't need it, and understanding like the pressure of all that, because she's literally lost it, so she has that perspective of understanding. And I think it would be very difficult for me to kind of operate in this world I live in of the social media, the intense training and like mental removal I need to win Olympias and stuff with someone who has no idea of what that world's like. So she's been able to be there for me through all that, and it's been like it was like the most amazing like meant to be timing that she came in my life in 2018.
How did y'all meet while you were competing? Like, how did you? I'm sure you probably knew of each other.
She slid into my DMs actually.
Classic.
Yeah, I was actually had a crush on her.
That's how my girlfriend.
Same with you.
Yeah.
Similar to with you, I met her before she knew who I was, and then I took a selfie with her like 2016 Arnold because I had a crush on her. She was like the cute, nice bikini girl,
Yeah.
Fast forward 2 years later, she's in my DMs being like, "Congrats on the Olympia" or something. And then I didn't see it for a while. She thought I was ghosting her, so she sent me another thing.
She double DM'd you?
She double DM'd me.
She didn't even do the delete and then resend.
No,
she just
saved
doubled.
it. She was confident. She's like, fuck it. Why isn't this guy replying to me? And so I did. And this was because I had actually posted one of my first like vulnerable videos of me talking about my illness and crying on Olympia, on YouTube. And she was like, wow, this dude's real. Like I can like connect with this emotion. He seems like vulnerable and real. So that's why she reached out. And then she slid in my DMs, and I was like, when I finally saw it, I was like, literally jumped in joy. I was like, this is the girl I've had a crush on for 4 years in my DMs. Like,
I can imagine you just like come out of the closet or something. You open Instagram, you see it. I picture this, everyone. Chris sees it. He starts smiling, and he lays on his bed with his feet kind of kicked up behind him, kind of just kicking in the air, just thinking of a response.
Screenshotting and sending to all my friends. Look who DM'd me. What should I say?
Where was your first date? Like, where did you? What happened after that? How quickly did you? We need to hang out, kind of thing.
I think it was like almost 2 months of like, because she was in Chicago, I was in Canada.
Right.
So it was almost actually Arizona at the time. It was like 2 months of just on the phone talking, and I fucking hate talking on the phone.
Me too.
I don't talk a lot, and I hate talking on the phone. It's just weird. You know, you can't see someone.
The thing about talking on the phone is like it's the exiting that conversation.
Right.
Because it's like, well, do you need to go? Like, no, I just don't want to get on the phone. Like, you don't want to talk to me anymore? Like, no, I just don't want to talk to anyone.
I just want to like
I'm going to sit and not do anything. I
Yeah,
just don't want to talk on the
exactly.
phone. It's not because I don't talk to you. Yeah, I digress. But
yeah, but you know,
Yeah.
honeymoon stage of a relationship, I just was like obsessed with her. So we were talking on the phone like all the time, connected very well, and then finally she's like, you know, I'll come visit you. So our first date was actually her flying to Canada, and
did
then
you fly her out or did she fly out?
she flew herself out.
She flew herself out?
Yeah.
As she's
I know,
flying,
looking back,
her
I'm
friends are probably like, oh my God, did Chris fly out? No, that cheap motherfucker.
I know, right? Looking back, I'm like, what an asshole, but like, fuck, I mean, we didn't know each other yet, you know?
And then I made her Uber from the airport.
Yeah. No, I picked her up. But yeah, she came, she visited, and I had like a studio apartment with like glass sliding doors. I had like a tiny little apartment. So I was like, you can have the bed, I'll sleep on the couch. Like we just our first time meeting, like I'm not gonna like impose it all like that.
Unless you're into that. Unless you're down.
No, I was playing it cool, you know, I was like, no matter what, just take it easy. And then she was like, no, I'm sleeping on the couch. This is your house. You're big, like you're too big for the couch, whatever.
Like,
blah,
cool,
blah.
thanks. I would have hated to sleep on the couch.
And then it was like a battle for a while. We ended up sleeping in like my bed together, but
With a
we
little
had like
pillow
the
guardian,
pillow between
obviously.
each other, no cuddling, just like facing the other direction, like good night, you know.
That's right. You can tell me what actually happened after the podcast. That's fine.
I wish. Actually, I don't wish it happened because we wouldn't be here, but that is what happened. And that was also like a, you know, all right, she's a good girl, you know.
Yeah.
I respect that.
What was the thing? Obviously, you guys had a connection before you met, and then you had your thing. What was like when you met her for the first time? First kind of, well, I guess not met her for the first time, but first dating, going on a date, her coming to visit you, that she paid for on her own dime. Just want to make sure everyone knows that.
We went to dinner. I split the bill, of course.
The check comes. Well, I didn't have any of the appetizer that you had, so if you could put that on your bill. What stood out about her the most? Because you guys are like, okay, I get we compete, I get we're relatable, but like,
I would say her like absolute selfless generosity to give to others. Like no matter who she meets for like you could, most people meet her for like 5 minutes and then they'll be like crying because they just told her life story because she's like so like.
I thought you were gonna say because she like says something really mean to them.
She's so like non-judgmental and understanding and like passionate that people just sense that energy from her. And she's very outgoing and talkative, and I'm more shy and introverted. So like that kind of like mixed together where I never felt awkward because she like kept the conversation going, asked good questions, and then she met like my parents. They loved her. My sister at first didn't really like her, but my sister didn't like any girls in my life. So, but then everyone she met was just, she was just so kind, and the way she treated everyone was so nice. I was like, fuck, this is like such a genuine, good-hearted, like Midwestern, like good girl.
It's hard
you know?
to find someone like that.
Yeah.
'Cause you always think there's ulterior motives.
Yeah.
Maybe not like so evil, but to find like I like to use the phrasing of like a pure good soul.
Yeah.
Like you just like, you're through and through, you're a good person.
Yeah.
And it's not every day that you find someone like that you also have things in common with, you know, both connect on a bunch of other
Exactly. Yeah.
levels.
She understood social media. She was in the fitness world, all this stuff, but she didn't have the obsession with her body, obsession with clout or social media or followers or like other people's opinions. She was like who she was, like innately in her own heart, and she was going to be that no matter what anyone else like thought or cared about her. So
And how
I
long-
just really respected that.
How long were y'all dating before you got engaged?
4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Damn, I think I don't know if my girlfriend will listen to this one, but I mean, 4 years, my girlfriend, she'd be like, no, 4 years, no.
No. Is she? Are you guys living together now?
We are, after 8 months, first girl I've ever lived with my entire life.
Ooh, dangerous.
This is we just celebrated our 15-month anniversary, so a little over a year, longest relationship I've ever been in, first girl I've ever lived with at all.
That's when your YouTube went down when you couldn't play that card of sad single Max.
I know. It was almost like everyone's like cheering me on, like wanting me to find someone. Dude, you're going to find it. And then I'm like, guys, I found the girl of my dreams. They're like, hired him out.
Did your like followers accept her?
Yeah. I mean, I think people can tell someone's maybe intentions or who they are very quickly.
Yeah.
And just like I did with my girlfriend, like she's just similar to Courtney probably. She just shines through, and it's like impossible to not like her. She lights up the room.
Yeah.
And again, even with her, she's very talkative to random people where I'm more like, you know, sit in the back of the room.
Until you get going.
until I get going, until I'm on a podcast, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, shut the fuck up. So, engagement. Now, you got engaged in Sedona, Arizona. I got some questions
You got
about
your notes
that.
right, but you spelled my name wrong, so.
I got Chris Bumstead. Actually, I put everyone's name in weird versions on my podcast.
Well, that's how
it's
you
funny
do
because
it?
no one even sees these. It's just for me.
I saw it. I'm like, this fucking guy.
It's for funsies. Now, did you always plan? Were you always I'm gonna get married guy?
I didn't like think too deeply about it. I always wanted to like. I mean, I guess so. Yeah, my parents are still together, and we're a beautiful example of like a long-lasting, loving relationship. Again, not because it's perfect, but because they knew that they had to like continuously work at it and like put effort into caring for each other and be there for each other. And I like saw that growing up, so I'm extremely grateful for that example because a lot of people aren't that lucky.
Well, my parents split up when I was extremely young, so I've lived in like the divorce, not like a broken house, but like the divorce, separated, living in different areas. But my girlfriend Taylor, her parents have been together for 37 years, which is it's crazy to see because you're like, not only is that amazing, but it's also like you don't see that ever.
No.
And it's not like it's perfect, but so you were on the fence to get married, and then did Courtney she's like, I am a married bitch. I'm gonna be married. So you need to deal with that.
She was pretty understanding about it for sure. We have conversations about like everything like pretty deep, and I would have conversations about like, you know, I feel like people go through a phase where they kind of think marriage is just like some social construct of like, what's the point of this if we love each other? Like, why do we need to put it on paper? Why does this like define our love and all this whatever bullshit? And I still think all that kind of stuff. But to me, the marriage isn't more of like it's like, it's a genuine like pinky promise agreement of like,
This man said a pinky promise.
that's more serious than a marriage, you know? But it's just like that absolute commitment that no matter what happens, even if you get to a point of like hating, like I joked about hating each other, of actually disliking each other, instead of giving up, you're going to do absolutely everything in your power to come back together and work to build your relationship back, because that's what it takes. It's like understanding that there is no quit, you know? Fucking champion mentality, no quit mentality. There's no quit.
Full circle, baby. We can just end the pod right here, though.
No, but for real, I think so many people in this generation are so quick to quit things, and I think that ties into relationships and why divorce rates are so high. And like whatever that stat was, like the first time ever that over 50% of people at 30 don't have a child, women at 30 don't have a child, which is like population, see you later, but that's a whole other story, you know. But I think it just was a commitment where I had to understand and absolutely sit with myself and be like, you know, no matter what happens, I love this girl. I know who she is in my heart, and I'm never going to give up on building my love with her, like until I die.
I need to put the eye drops in and splits the tear because that was beautiful, man. But I completely understand, and hearing that side of the commitment it's always fascinating to me because I agree with it. But Max, you know, a decade ago when I was in college, and because my last real relationships were right before I started social media, so I'd been single for a very long time, and I was always someone, or it was just common with everyone because I was so young. It was the first argument. It's like, we're broken up.
Yeah.
Are we back together? Are we
Done.
broken up? Like, I mean, the stupidest thing would happen. All right, I'm out. Like, I wouldn't even get into arguments. If we got into an argument, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And now it's, you know, as I'm older, I'm like, you discuss things and you talk about things, and yeah, you can have your disagreements, but I think sticking it out is something that's truly beautiful. Yeah. What's your thoughts on the red pill mindset, where I'm assuming, you know, you said you understand it, of like, you know, there's what's the point of like getting married, you know, whatever. Did you lean into that heavy before you met her and then she changed your opinion, or was it always like, I'm open to marriage?
I was always open to it, and I think I've tried not to ever like dive in too much of like letting myself be blue-pilled of just like believing whatever I hear and not thinking about it, like constructively breaking it down and actually analyzing how I feel about it, not because of any external things. And I think that's why it was like conversations with her and time of like understanding what I really wanted. But I never like was like, I'm never getting married, fuck the system. You know, it was more like, I'm not going to make my decision because of the system. I'm going to make it because of my own values and beliefs and because of what I want now and in the future, who I want to be now and in the future.
What I think is, you know, like when you mentioned about how, like, you know, why can't you just be together, and why do you need the government involved? Like, you know, can't we just be together and be there forever? The argument I always have to that is, I think for you to find the person the person that you want to be with forever, whoever it is, for you to like connect with that person on every level and them still have that same like, yeah, sure, like I'm like, for you to find a girl that is everything you want her to be, but is also down to never get married and just be together, that's probably gonna be the combo that like you're never gonna.
That's tough. Yeah,
you'll find some people that are open to that, but you're not gonna connect on all the other levels. So it's almost like, I don't know. It's kind of a strange thing.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. So, and how long when was the proposal?
The proposal was in October of 2022.
Okay.
Like 6 months ago?
When are you getting married?
It's a great question. It's a battle because we live here in Florida now, and a lot of our friends are here, but she won't get married here because her hair is going to be too frizzy in the humidity. Huge important factor, you know? She's not going to get married in Illinois because she hates Illinois where she's from. She doesn't want to get married in Ottawa because it's boring and there's no beautiful venues or backdrops. So it's like, are we going to go to like California? And she's like, are we going to go to Mexico? Are we going to go to Italy? Are we going to go to Vancouver? And I'm like, every time I give an opinion, and you'll learn this if you get there, it doesn't matter. She'll be like, what do you think, babe? Just be like, whatever you want, babe. Because no matter what, I'm like, let's get married in Ottawa. She's like, no. I'm like, all right, let's get married in Florida. Like, let's do it in the backyard. Who cares? She's like, no. I'm like, all right, whatever, you choose.
Do you want centerpiece 1 or 2? I really like 2. Nah, 2's stupid. I want 1. Yeah, you're right, babe. Why do you always agree with everything?
That's what I thought, yeah.
Like, oh, what am I thinking?
That's what I meant to say.
Now, how long did you plan that proposal?
Probably like 6 months or so, maybe.
So 6 months, you're like, all right, like I'm gonna go through with this. I'm gonna do it.
I probably knew for a year. I mean,
wrong answer. You knew the day you met her. There you go.
I knew the day I met her. I'm not gonna pretend like it was that perfect. You know, like love at first sight is beautiful for some people, but we had to build it.
Yeah.
But I think for a year I was like absolutely gung ho, like I'm gonna marry her. And then it was like finding the ring. When am I gonna do it? I was in prep. I was traveling, and like when's like a time I can do it? And then it just lined up perfectly. Like her birthday happened. We were going to be in Arizona. She loves Arizona. She used to live there.
Why don't you get married there?
We might. That was an option too. It's also dry, so her hair won't be frizzy. Huge key. But it just lined up perfectly. I had gotten the ring. I got it in. Then I was waiting for like a cool trip to do it in a cool place. And then we were going to be in Arizona. It was her birthday like a few weeks before. So for her birthday, I got her like a stay at like this resort in Sedona. And she just thought it was a trip down there. Had no idea it was coming. And
did she?
She genuinely didn't.
Now, here's
because I've been laying the groundwork for years that I wasn't going to ask her for at least 5 years.
Now, I noticed when I looked back at the photos of the proposal, right? Beautiful, amazing. You guys look stunning. You were in the middle of a mountain, or like I thought you were in like Moab, Utah, or something. You're on a rock, but you're both wearing really nice clothes. She's wearing like wedge heels and a dress. I'm like, all right, how did he line this up? Like, hey, wear something like I thought you'd be wearing like hiking gear where you are.
It was tough.
What was she like? Why are we wearing such nice clothes to go out on this rock?
This is why it took me like 6 months to plan, because I knew she loves like capturing that moment, and I wanted to be able to like have those memories, and I knew it would be easier for me than most people because content. My photographer Calvin literally is like our little baby, pretty much, who follows us around. So it was like, okay, that opportunity there. Now, how am I going to get somewhere cool and dressed? So we're in Sedona, and the reason we were in Arizona is because we were there for a Raw event. So we had a team down there that was shooting video and stuff. It was Calvin, had an Airbnb in Arizona, went to the resort in Sedona, and Calvin said he had a photo shoot on the Monday or whatever. And then he's like, oh, fuck, they bailed on me. I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm just sitting here alone at the Airbnb, like, blah, blah, blah. And then she's way nicer than I am. So he's like, how about I come, like, do a photo shoot of you guys out there because the landscape's so dope. And I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to do a photo shoot. Like, just tell him not to come. And she's like, come on. Like, it'll be easy. Like, you know, like, I was against it, but Calvin was pushing it. We were planning on the back end. So he's like, I'll drive down there. It's only an hour and a half. I'll do some photos of you guys, like, before dinner or whatever, and then I'll leave and I'll get out of your guys' hair. And I'm like, fine, whatever. Fuck it. Let's do it. And then so he showed up early, and then we were just getting ready for dinner. That's why she was dressed up. And then he's like, I found a dope spot, but it's a little bit of a hike. Like, we'll just take some pictures.
You got to just hike up half a mile on the mountain, but make sure you wear your nice stuff.
But the trick is what people don't know. If you take 2 steps forward and look down, that's our resort. Like, we weren't actually in the middle of nowhere. It was like our resort was built kind of into like the mountains of Sedona, and then there was just a rock like like this kind of, so that it looked up, and that's why that picture looked like there was nothing in the background. So we went, and he's like, you should probably bring shoes because you have to hike like 5 minutes up somewhere. So we brought a bag with her heels in it, and then she wore like running shoes or whatever, hiked up there, and he's like, okay, Courtney, let's take pictures of you first, like go back there and take pictures. And I'm like, I'm fucking hungry, like let's get out of here, like playing I didn't want to be there, but literally
inside your heart,
literally this. Yeah, literally like fuck, like yeah like
you're like, do I have to still have the ring? Do I still have the ring?
Here, I dropped it on the way. No, yeah, and then he sent her out there, and then he's like, all right, turn around, face the other way, and like take some like girly pictures, like put your hands up. And he looked at me like,
and then you walk up, and all of a sudden she's like, why is the drone popping up in the air?
there was no drone. That was part of it. But we did have another, Calvin had a camera too in the bushes that no one
just
saw.
half a mile across with a like 900 millimeter
Literally,
lens, just zooming in.
Yeah. But yeah, no, she turned around, looked the other way. I popped down on one knee, said her name or whatever, and then she turned around and...
Hey, you want a pinky promise for life?
Like, yo, babe, turn around. This is for you.
Damn, what if she said no?
That'd be wild.
That'd have been crazy.
That'd be wild. I would just use it for like a clickbait, non-clickbait video. She said no. A Christian Guzman style video.
That exactly.
She
is
said
what
no,
Christian
and
would
me
do.
like crying and her like in the background.
Did you keep it short and sweet on what you said to her, or was it like did you go through like a million phrases, like how do I start it? What do I say? Is it just will you marry me?
It was pretty quick. It was probably like, I don't know, 30 seconds of like,
you're like, my knee really hurts.
yeah, no, I was too nervous to even feel my knee. I didn't even know what was going on. I just I don't remember exactly what I said, but something along the lines of how like we've gone through this like journey together, and like it's beautiful how we were both like happy by ourselves, but coming together we're able to make ourselves even like elevate that happiness, even though we don't need each other. Like it wasn't I said it in a better way, but just
were you
how
stumbling over your words the entire time.
No, I actually kind of nailed it. I was like, I don't know where it came from. It was like under pressure, I got it. Champion mentality.
That's right. When it's time to step on stage, I'm
all
not
that
mess
practice.
Up.
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah. So it was a beautiful moment for sure. And like now we have all these dope pictures, and like she was genuinely surprised because like I kept giving her shit that I wasn't ready to do it, and I wasn't gonna do it. And she's like, "You're never gonna ask me," and I'm like, "Maybe not." But
that's awesome. And then that night you probably finally got to have sex for the first time.
Yeah, no, almost. We got to cuddle that night, but she's waiting till we're actually married properly, because that would be...
That's right. I mean, mom and dad might be listening, dude.
Exactly, yeah.
We're telling it how it is.
Yep.
Well, congratulations on the engagement, man. And now with you potentially, winning the final fifth, getting engaged, getting married in who knows where in the world, right?
Somewhere.
You're probably on your decline of work. Like, you're probably ready to slow down, right?
Probably not yet.
No?
I don't think so.
I feel like, damn. So even getting married and retiring from competing, you think you're not gonna like calm down a little bit?
I mean, my life will be very different, but like coming into this world now of like being a business owner and all this stuff, like it's a lot, but I'm sure it's so rewarding and it's fun, and it's a new world to step into. Like at first you were just building YouTube, and that was like your challenge, and that was something you were building and getting better at and enjoying. And then Sour Strips, Ever Forward first, and then Sour Strips fucking pops off, and you're like, wow, this is like a new journey of life that you're stepping into. And that's kind of what I've been discovering now. That something is another passion of mine, and why I'm so grateful for being in the sport, whatever you want to call it, of bodybuilding, is I have time in my off season to focus on that. So I'm like building the preliminary next chapter of my life while I'm still in the bodybuilding world. So I think I'll still be enjoying the entrepreneur business side and putting like more focus and energy into that when I'm done competing.
Lots of energy. Energy drinks. With your new kind of venture into entrepreneurship, business, and not that you weren't doing it before, but now you said you're probably going to even at a higher level put your time and effort into that. How does it? So you mentioned earlier, how does it work with you in like raw nutrition?
In what sense? Because
I think you mentioned owner. Like, are you part owner, a partnership, or are you just like an athlete? Or
yeah, no, I'm part owner in it. So Dom, who you just met.
So how did that whole world kind of come together?
So Matt Jansen, do you know who that is?
Maybe if I saw him.
He's like, right now he's one of the best bodybuilding coaches around.
Oh, then I definitely don't know him.
Yeah.
If he's a bodybuilding coach, I don't know.
He used to coach my brother-in-law, and so I knew of him, and we knew each other pretty well, and I met him, and he like respected me, I respected him, and then he got into business with Dom. Dom's like the powerhouse business,
Yeah.
like mind behind everything. And Jansen was like the smart, like coach, understanding the supplements and everything behind the scenes. They started Revive together, a vitamin company, and then they were starting a supplement company together. And they were like, we want to bring on someone who's going to really like kind of like blow this company up, bring that like youthful eye to it, and like almost bring in like an influencer of sort with a lot of power who's vested in being a part of the actual behind the scenes business, who's going to come be an owner of the company with us. So they chose me, luckily, gratefully for that. And then Matt Jansen was my connect into the Dom in the world. They brought me on for Raw 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago now, I guess only. It hasn't been that long. And that was like, I was in a supplement contract, making good money, you know, guaranteed like really good salary, blah, blah. And then someone's like, here, like, we'll give you equity in this company. We'll all be equal partners, and we're going to like build something that you own. And I was like, fuck, that sounds way more interesting than promoting someone else's brand.
Y'all are all equal partners?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's awesome.
Yeah. And it was always a goal of mine that long term, I didn't want to just like, you know, I retired from bodybuilding at one point,
you
and
don't
they're
be
just
like
like
face of something, sponsored athlete.
Yeah, they would just be like, see you later, Chris is done, you know. And I'm like, okay, well, I hope I save my money, you know. Yeah. I wanted to have something long lasting that I was truly invested in. And so this was the perfect opportunity for that. It was at a younger age than I thought. And people kind of challenged me. They're like, you should do your own company. You should own 100% of it. Like, you could succeed on your own. And I'm like, I know my strengths, and I'm not going to be that kind of guy who, like, I need to own 100% because of my ego or whatever. I understood the value that Matt and Dom would bring to the table and stuff that I don't have the time to fully right now, as I'm still competing, and don't have the knowledge. So we partnered on that, started it together, and it fucking blew up in the first year. Like, been crushing it, and super grateful for that. You know, we've made some really amazing products, and we've built, I think, a really like good brand culture around it that people are actually excited to be a part of using it, because we're like, Dom's one of the best business guys I know, Matt's one of the best coaches in the world, and I'm one of the best class 50 competitors in the world. And we're just like elevating that, like being the best versions of ourselves in whatever field we were in, like I spoke to you about. It's like being your best self. That's kind of the message we want to give out with the brand of like, this is something where you like, it's not about taking the supplements, it's about like setting the standard for your own life, not because of external reasons, but because of what you want and being the best version of yourself.
Champion mindset.
Champion mentality. And people built that, and they loved it, and the brand's been blowing up and succeeding, and we've been super grateful for it, and we're just enjoying it, and we're kind of building ventures off of it. Like, we just started the energy company. Yeah. And it's launching, I think, April 16th or so in Vitamin Shop and on Amazon, and we're going to a few other retailers to start, and it's just been a lot of fun kind of testing that new thing.
What is your main purpose in your if you're the third partner, like what is your main focus like on the day-to-day for the brand?
For a while it was a lot on like the vision and branding concept of it. Like when I came in, Matt and Dom were starting it with like these black labels, black cans, brown labels, and they're like, we want to be like this, like, yeah, it was ugly, but they were like, we're different. No one else had the brown label. I'm like, yeah, it's ugly. Yeah. There's a cow on the front and shit. I'm like, we're not a vegan.
A cow?
Like, there was a cow. Okay. This is whey, you know, of the protein. And I'm like, we're not vegan. We're not even all like a lot of their stuff's with stevia, but not all of it is like, and that looks like it tastes bad and it looks ugly. I'm like, if we're trying to be this like cool brand with like this message that we stand behind, we all really care about like how we present ourselves, like fashion, shoes, all this stuff. Why do we have this ugly ass labels? Yeah. So I kind of came in and tried to like, the first thing we got to do is change the labels and the bottles. And that's why we started my own line of like Bum under Raw, which is, it's all the same company, but it's just like it's like the Jordan of Nike, essentially.
You're the
but
Jordan,
on a lower
you're
scale.
the Jordan of Nike.
On a lower scale. I'm not trying to proclaim that. That was more of the concept of the branding behind it. And so that was my idea to come in and do that. And we called the pre-workout Thavage, playing off my lisp, which is another message it gives out of like owning your insecurities.
Whose idea was that? I have an on here with the Thavage.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that yours? That
was mine. Yeah. Yeah. It started as
how did you pitch that? How did you be like, guys, I don't know if you know this, but I have a lisp. And
well, they already knew it. They were like, oh fuck yeah, we know. You sound like an idiot. I'm like, no, I mean, I think I found a big reason that I was really introverted and didn't talk a lot, and I have serious anxiety public speaking, and I'm getting better at it now, was because I had a lisp when I was younger and I was really embarrassed to speak. So I got to a point where like I started to build confidence in who I am rather than like what people thought of me.
And you can beat the fuck out of anyone who makes fun of you. So
exactly, yeah. Sadly, that confidence isn't real. It doesn't work. But I was just like, you know what, like what if I own this, like, and I think it just started in like a caption, like #Favage, you know, and people were like, oh my God, like it's funny, and they just thought it was hilarious that I was like owning my lisp. And I've always been someone where when people try to make fun of me, I try to make fun of myself with them.
You're the B rabbit of the supplement industry.
Yeah,
dude.
or you know,
That's what I've been making fun of my own skinniness.
You're the king of that.
And my single forever aloneness.
Exactly.
It's like, you can't make fun of me for anything. I already do it myself.
That's what you have to do, man. You have to own your shit and understand it doesn't matter. And that's also the only way not to get picked on when you're young, is to make fun of yourself too. And people are like, well, it's not fun if he's not upset by it.
Where your partner's just like, I love it.
Yeah, pretty much. It was already on T-shirts and shit, and the T-shirts were succeeding. So I'm like, yo, let's call a pre-workout that. It's going to crush it. And they were like, fuck it, let's do it.
You know, there's something that I thought you should do. I don't know if you did this. I'm hoping you did, but you missed an opportunity that I always thought would have been the funniest fucking thing ever. Obviously, you're aware of TikTok and all the, you know, kids on there doing the dances and, you know, and the whatnot.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was a big thing for a long time. The, like, I'm a savage, classy, bougie, ratchet, and they do the dance. You should have done I'm a Savage remix to that and done the dances. It would have been the fucking funniest thing ever.
I should have. You're right.
I think you should still do it, dude.
I might be able to bring it back. That trend's kind of gone, but maybe I'll bring it back with Savage.
You should, man.
Yeah.
How has been? What's the biggest, I guess, learning experience you've had from coming into? Just briefly speaking with Dom, and I haven't met the other business partner, but you know, he definitely knows what he's doing, what he's talking about. Very in the operations and expertise of building a brand. Coming in and dealing with someone who's maybe more on the back end of stuff rather than, you know, a persona online that has, you know, the ability to, you know, persuade a lot of people to purchase products or whatever. The marketing aspect.
Yeah.
Like, what have you learned getting more into the business and being more hands-on of like the back end of businesses? Like, do you like it? Do you not like it? Like what's your favorite and least favorite thing about being in the day-to-day operations?
It's hard to say there's like a least favorite thing, because there's challenging things, but it's not because I hate it. It's just challenging. But I think one of the most difficult things that we've had to deal with is just like people.
Yeah.
You know, like we have the best team ever, but still like kind of like rolling that in the way it needs to be. Like people are all so different, come from different backgrounds, concepts, and like the way they want to work, don't want to work, and all this shit. And we've flown through a lot of employees, and now we're grateful to have a really like amazing, strong core team. And we're not very big, but we like they're all super pumped to be here and like treat the brand like it's their own.
Yeah.
So we're lucky, but it's definitely hard managing people to be all coming together and do the right thing. And another thing Dom's very good at is with people, so he's able to help a lot with that, because I'm also not always here traveling and competing. But I think just overall everything I've learned is just like something that I never expected to even learn any of it or be at this point in my life right now. So it's hard to say I had any expectations or fears coming into it, because I didn't even know what I was getting into. But I've always had the mindset, like I said, and I think it's like my reason for success is that like everything takes a team, takes an army, you know, like you can't do it all by yourself.
Yeah.
And there's zero chance Raw would even like be here. It might not even exist anymore if I hadn't had my team and Dom and Matt and everybody kind of coming together. And I wouldn't be Mr. Olympia if I didn't have Courtney, my brother-in-law Ian, my sister, my new coach Hani, Calvin, my friend Maddie.
Don't forget anyone. Keep naming them
Max
off.
Tuning.
That's what it is.
You know, like it's just like you can't do it all, and it's so much. And even if you do it all by yourself, when you get to the top by yourself, it's not going to be enjoyable. Some of my best memories in business are celebrating with Dom and Matt on a new success we have. Some of my best memories from the Olympia aren't winning, but coming back and being able to celebrate with my family and know that they're there with me, supporting me. And I think it's just one of the best things I've learned, and it's allowed me to have multiple business ventures that are succeeding, as well as competing that's succeeding, that's all kind of like doing well, because I'm not taking all of it onto myself. I know I have people that I can trust who have strengths that are not my strengths, and I trust them to do it. And then it all kind of comes together in the middle and for a beautiful little bow on top, you know?
When you're not traveling for whatever, and you're just, let's say it's like a normal day, do you come to the office every day?
Typically Monday to Friday, yeah.
What does like a day in the life look like for you when you're not on prep, not competing, like you're just in, we'll just say business mode? Mm-hmm. Like what does a day in the life look like?
It varies a lot. You know, every day is random shit for business sometimes. Like we had new like designers coming in at one point, and we were going over new labels, new shit, new this, and that was like talking of the concept. We want to go the way we want to go. This last week we've had a branding officer we want to hire to properly build like a actual clean template for all our brands going forward. So it's like a clean system of our employees, what they're going to do, and how the brands are going to line up, how they're different, how they're the same. We have to like kind of lay that out perfectly so that like when we hire new people or tell people to do a job, there's like SOPs on how to get shit done. And then building that.
Standard operating procedures, guys. SOP.
Precisely, yeah. Sometimes we're meeting with new vendors. Like we were only in Vitamin Shop for a while, so dealing with that stuff. And then now we're getting into GNC this year, so getting into that. And then just like phone calls, meetings. Sometimes I'm with the content team coming up with ideas and trying to help them like with branding, and they handle a lot of that now, but I was helping a lot more before when we had less people. Sometimes I'm the one in the video, sometimes we're just doing podcasts, sometimes I'm at home doing YouTube videos. It's really just all over the place what we might be doing that day or week.
When do you, like, assuming you don't have like a late night shoot or whatever, when do you kind of like shut off for the day? Do you have that, or is it like, hey, after 7 I chill with Courtney, I watch Netflix at night?
Yeah. I really try and have like a removal point in my life, and it was hard for a while because I still need to train for an extended period of time. I still need to do cardio sometimes. I need my recovery, and then I'm here too. So for a while I was waking up, eating, coming here. Then it's like we moved here. It's like a 40-minute drive down to the gym. So I'd get to the gym at like 6, train till like 8, and then come home at 8:30, eat, and go to bed. And that was just like time was flying.
Sounds lame.
I was like, fuck, yeah, it sucked. So now I'm like, you know what? I don't need to be here till 5 every day. Like, I'm not actually running the business. Sometimes I leave a bit early. Sometimes I train in the morning, and then I'm able to come home with Courtney at like 5 or 6. And then that's when we just shut off. You know, we binge TV shows like 1923, Yellowstone.
Yellowstone is so whack, man.
Oh, it's a good show.
It's
new season of You we just binged, and that was really good too.
One of my people on my team, Mona, said it sucks.
The new season,
the 4th one.
What?
I haven't watched it yet.
It's different for sure, and it's like it jumps a lot, but I really liked it. It had me guessing.
He's gonna capture someone else. He's gonna kill someone.
No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened in the season. It was different.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. I'm excited.
This one was a mind fuck. I didn't know what was coming. Every time I was like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. It was good.
I think it's cool to hear. I think it's probably cool for the audience to hear that when people can, like, yeah, at nighttime I chill and I watch Netflix, and I'm, you know, because nowadays in the culture, everyone's like, I work 24/7. I never shut off. I never do anything. I go to bed at 4 a.m. because I'm working. Then I get up at 6 a.m. and meditate for 6 hours. And then you're just like, nah. I kind of just.
I tell myself I'm going to meditate every day, but I've done it once.
I think if I meditated, I would sit there and be like, I'm so bored.
Literally.
It's like think about nothing. I'd just be like, what am I going to have for lunch for later? Chipotle sounds.
It's not
nice.
about thinking about nothing. It's just about watching where your mind wanders, coming back to center, and like making peace with your mind and quiet.
Yeah, I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah.
I'll try it out one day. Maybe after this we can just sit. We should just do it right now. Just sit on the ground. And
I have definitely noticed, though, like you said, like I'm not a 24/7 worker, but I like my sleep.
Yeah.
So
I prioritize sleep a lot. I'm like,
fucking
I'm getting 7 or 8 hours every night. Like, most time I get like 9. I'm in bed by 10 p.m. and I wake up at 7 every day. But I'm like, I'm getting a good amount of sleep.
It's the best. Yeah, you need that. But it also means like sometimes you come back and you're like, if you come home late, then you just have to go to bed and you don't have time to just chill.
Yeah.
And so like I was in that rhythm for a while of just like I told you that like come home late after the gym and just go to bed and repeat. And then when I don't have like solitude, like moments of by myself or like, you know, like Chris time of just chilling, doing nothing.
You probably get that throughout the day of like at least some office time.
Sometimes a little bit, yeah. But like, I mean like just like rest and relaxation time. Because I also travel a lot on weekends. Last 4 weekends, I've been traveling somewhere. So there's
I've been trying to set this podcast up for years.
You just asked me once.
I did.
But yeah, so I think it is really important to just fucking shut off sometimes and take that time for yourself.
It's very important. And it's, I think and when you get to a certain point, when you have people in your team like you can trust, it's not like you're like, oh, other people can work while I chill now. It's like, hey, I've done the work in the front end. I've set up the things that need to happen so the companies can run, so the businesses can run, so everyone can still make a living, and I don't need to kill myself every day like I used to because I did all these things to get to where I'm at now, and people will kind of realize that as they get older. It's interesting. I have way more on my plate than I ever have in my entire life, but I feel like my nights, I think it's just because I've got a girlfriend and I've made sure now quality time is something that I prioritize. It's like I want to spend time with her, and that's just like chilling on the couch watching our shows at nighttime. Currently, it's just re-binging The Office, but
classic.
I feel like before I never had time to watch Netflix, and now I have more on my plate. But now I'm watching TV shows, an episode or two every single night, and it's confusing. But I'm like, oh, it's because I've done everything over the years. I had to work the crazy long hours so that I could chill a little bit. And as I'm 33, old as shit. It sucks when you get past 30, man.
Fuck,
yeah, if you think your body hurts now, man.
My body is broken. That's the body of an 80-year-old.
Your muscles are breaking without even doing anything.
Literally, yeah. That's how old I am.
I hope you haven't torn another bicep while you're sitting here, man.
I might have.
But now I'm just kind of chilling. And with raw nutrition and, you know, all the different extensions of it, getting into the energy drinks, why did you want to go down this path? I know everyone's doing it for good reasons. Was it did you have any like pushback of like, it's really saturated? You're like, I think we can crush it. Obviously it looks very different, and you went with we'll call it the beer size can.
That was the goal. The beer can. Yep.
Rather than the traditional skin, you know, the taller, the bigger ones or the skinny ones.
The Lonnie one or the Ghost.
Why did you want to go with, why did you want to start energy?
Partly just because they're great drinks. You know, everyone drinks them, and our fucking office, like our employees downstairs, are savages for them.
They're savages.
Savages, correct. I think Dan sent us a pallet once.
Wait a second. Can you say savages normally, but you call your pre-workout the Lisp version? He's lying to the people. He can say savages normal.
I've gotten better at speaking over time. The more I talk, I can control it a little bit. Depends how dry my mouth gets.
He's like, actually, I haven't had a Lisp in like 4 years, but I just continue to do it every
Arnold
day.
Schwarzenegger. His accent got deeper the more he was in America. You know, he's got to play it. But yeah, no, they would literally like drink a pallet of energy drinks a day, and we're like, what the fuck? Like, we might as well like. They might as well be drinking our own if we're all.
You might as well get high on your own supply.
We have the brand on it. It's similar like pre-workout, you know, like caffeine, nutrition, like things coming in. And then and I also don't like drinking energy drinks because I don't like having a lot of caffeine, especially like before, if I'm not working out or if it's late in the day, I really don't want a lot of caffeine.
Oh, these are only 112. See, I actually really like that.
Yeah.
Something I've tried to pitch even to Ghost, and there's a reason why they wouldn't make alternate versions, but I love drinking energy drinks and diet sodas because I love carbonation.
Yeah.
I love just
adds to the flavor.
Yeah, I just like drinking bubbly, right? Mm-hmm. But one thing about me is I can only have 2 at the most in a day. It's because that's 400 milligrams caffeine. I try to stay ideally no more than that around the day, or right under 500, which is probably still a little higher. But see, actually, I like that it has only 112. I say only, but then you can have more of these. That's the idea.
Boom. There
you should make it with 3 grams of caffeine. Like you could drink 50 in a day and you're fine. And why did you name it Bum Energy rather than Raw Energy or Raw Nutrition?
Well, it's technically a completely different company. So it's not under the Raw business.
So it's like Raw, and then there's like Bum extension, and then everything under there.
There's like Raw, Revive, Bum Energy, all different companies. Under Raw, there's the Bum line, which is the same company. That's like Favage, Isolate, those like that stuff, but that's all one company. But this is a completely different LLC setup.
Okay. Yeah, Ghost did the same similar thing. Like Ghost Energy is a completely different company than that.
Just kind of branching into something else.
But I guess why did you go with like the
name?
Chris Bumstead energy drink rather than under the Raw Nutrition?
Just to separate things and keep things clean and tidy. So like, because it's going to be branded differently. Like Raw Nutrition is like kind of what I explained, that message behind the brand, and we're like building how that brand's going to look. And this is going to be branded differently. Like we're doing everything based off kind of a 90s look. That's why it has
it's very retro.
It has like that retro look. Very fun, Whereas Raw's not like fun retro. It's like a little bit more serious. There's humor in it, but it's more like sports,
Do you, and this is just my like kind of like brain working, obviously you're extremely popular, have the ability to influence a lot of people for stuff, but did the conversation ever come up to like, hey, when you get this into regular stores, like what does Bum Energy mean to the random person who has no idea who Chris Bumstead is? And is there be like, am I like, what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like where you're leaning into like, if you know you, then obviously you know exactly what this is, but for the audience outside of that.
Yeah. So our tagline we're still working on it, but it's like, fueling the lazy but ambitious, So like, don't be a bum.
I like
Get your shit in gear, Get your ass in gear. So it's just kind of that will be the play that we build off, with the long-term goal, of course, of not knowing who I am. So that's why we brought that branding officer I said coming in, because our long-term goal for all the companies is for people to know what they are without knowing who I am. And I think that would be a huge accomplishment if my name is on it and people drink it and they have no idea who the fuck Chris Bumstead is.
Yeah, I'm glad you don't have like a little like follow Chris Bumstead on the back, or have like a picture of you or something on here.
We fuck around a lot with the name too. Like we've joked about making bum gum, making this, that, because it's just a funny name.
Dude. Bubblegum.
Bummer G? That would have been a decent name. But we just...
Chris like, fuck. Can we change the labels?
Restart. We just fuck around with it sometimes, and Bum Energy was something we always talked about for like a year, and then we're like, fuck it, let's lock it in and do it.
I think the people who get into the energy drinks is, it's a very lucrative business. It's obviously booming. One thing I definitely like, you'll never see me drink a red or an orange drink ever. Not because I don't like the flavors, but because I hate when my mouth turns orange or red. You'll never see me wearing or drinking a red Gatorade or whatever.
Notice the color of it?
I know there's no color. See, normally I like when things have color, because I'm like, oh, if I drink a green apple, I like that it's green. I'm just weird like that. But for this, I am glad that it's clear. Look at these lips. Perfect lip. You wouldn't even, because it looks like I'm wearing lipstick or something.
And that was another basis behind it. Like, you notice it's a pretty light flavor.
Yeah.
It tastes more like you're drinking like an orange soda.
Yeah.
Rather than drinking like fucking
hardcore energy
red
drink.
Slushy, like fucking like deep syrup down your throat. It's like a light 112 milligram caffeine. It's more what I like.
Where
I don't
did you
like
come up
flavor.
with 112?
It's the average large cup of coffee.
There's reasoning, people.
See the back? Look at the drawing on the back. 1 bum equals 12-ounce cup of coffee.
Oh, okay. I want to read.
Approximately equals.
I'm going to read this to the people. On the back it says, "Don't be a bum. Wake up early and chase greatness, but don't be caught complaining. Dream so big it scares you. Expect less and hope more. You'll be happier. Take risks. You don't have the answers, go find them. Love your mom. She didn't raise no bitch. You have one life. Set the damn standard." Cursing on a can, dude.
Cursing on a can?
You have like 3 typos in here.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
That's the point.
You're like, we got 800 pallets in the warehouse.
Our first Savage bottle we ever did, we put "Don't be a pussy" on the side, and our
or it
was "Don't be a pussy, take 2 scoops," and our retailers were like, "You can't have that on there." I'm like,
no, you got to dance. You got to dance the line of like, you're
so whoever
edgy.
has that first rendition, good for you.
You don't want like some like mom reading this, be like, "Oh my god,
don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch." No,
but
Billy, get out. We're not. Put that back.
Wait, this one doesn't say it. The Savage has a creed on it too. Oh, it does say it on this one too. It says "Love your mom." So the mom's gonna read "Love your mom" right before "She didn't raise no bitch."
Where's "Love your mom" on this?
Right before "She didn't raise no bitch."
Oh yeah, love your mom. She raised no bitch.
Yeah, so they're gonna be "Love your mom." Oh, I'll raise no bitch. Oh, but then it equals out.
So she'll be like, "Billy, get it back."
Exactly.
Well, dude, with all of the success that you've had over the years, and starting all these businesses, are you like a flashy person? You don't seem to be. Looks like you have some cool shoes and stuff, but like, what do you spend your money on?
I save a lot.
Save?
I invest and save a lot. I do like nice cars, and like I do like cool shoes. And
what
like,
kind of car do you drive? Is that your Rolls Royce out there?
No, I'm not that flashy. I have a truck, but I like trucks. But it's not like intensely about it. It's more like I just enjoy things.
Have you ever bought any? Like, I mean, I don't know if you fit in them, but like, have you ever bought any like super cars, flashy cars, like a
kind of
sports?
Yeah. I've had 1 or 2, yeah.
Like what? You have some Lambos?
No, nothing that crazy. I had a Nissan GTR, which was one I loved for a while.
Bro, you and that Noel, which Noel. I'm like, how do y'all fit in these cars?
Yeah, it was pretty tight.
You're like, this is so sick. I'm in here, like I'm the steering wheel.
It was pretty tight. Yeah, I sold that though. I had a motorcycle for a while too, but that was too scary, so I got rid of that. And my girlfriend won't let me have. My fiance won't let me have that. But no, I'm not like huge into the flashiness. And if I buy something nice, I definitely don't share it. And it's not because I'm like withholding who I am of this. That's not who I am. I don't want people to think like I'm chasing success so I can buy nice things and you can have it too. I'm more like, no, like I'm chasing success because I like enjoy the journey and the effort I'm putting into it, the growth I get from it, and I just love my life every day. And it's not because of the things I get, it's because of the experiences and the people that I get to experience it with.
What's the dumbest thing you've ever bought?
The dumbest thing I ever bought?
That may cost so much money, you're like, why did I buy that? Whether you sold it, you still have it, I don't know. Is there any like watches or jewels you have that you're like, don't wear that anymore?
Not really, no.
No?
I don't think there's anything I've ever bought. I'm like, fuck. Because I've always been like, if I buy this, I'm going to feel stupid afterwards, you know? But there's nothing really crazy. When I first bought my first house, I felt like that. But obviously that wasn't a bad decision. It was just the first big thing I've ever bought. So I was anxious. Like, this was stupid.
You're probably going to, you mentioned that you hate Florida, right? You said in a podcast, I watch it.
What?
You said you're moving because, you said you're definitely moving because you don't like Florida. I'll pull the clip. It was with you and your employees. You said you don't like Florida. You said the only reason you're here is because you have the team and the people and whatever.
That's all. That's what matters. That's home.
Yeah, but my mind's like, I am in Texas because of the people, whatever. But I also like Texas. You said that you didn't like Florida.
It's a love-hate relationship sometimes. Like, the heat can be a lot. The people can be a little bit wild. There's just like, I'm from like Canada, so like we have like light grass, pine trees, like just the vibe, lakes and like dry weather. It's just so different. It's humid, hot here. There's some crazy people and stuff, but like I kind of like some of the mindset depending where you're at. And we're in a small city, so it's good here and we have great people. But I just, for some reason, when I go back home or when I was in like the outskirts of Dallas, Texas, I was just in Kentucky. Even I really like Kentucky even. There's just something different. The people are a little bit more grounded. The weather's just different. The schools, it feels a little bit safer or something. I don't know what it is, but I just don't see myself raising kids here.
Every time I hear some wild story, it's always people out of Florida.
Yeah.
It's.
I don't want to like judge too much Florida. You know, I love you.
Didn't like
Florida,
bath salts get invented here or something? Everyone was on bath salts. There was like zombies years ago.
Florida man is like its own meme, you know? Like
people are eating each other, or there's like alligators taking people's dogs and stuff. It is crazy.
Shit happens in Florida, yeah.
Shit does. I mean, I stop at some gas stations and there's just people screaming at each other, like walking down the street.
Literally, though.
And I'm like, these people are not, like, there's something going on.
Come yell racial slurs and scream at you sometimes. You're like, okay, like, it's a public. Courtney, lock the car, stay in there.
All right, we're going to go to a different Taco Bell today.
Yeah, but I just don't see myself having kids here for some reason right now. Maybe I'll learn more. We're in a good small city. I don't know if you drove around Stewart at all, but it's a pretty quaint little town. But we'll see.
Lovely.
And it also depends where my family will be long term. Like right now, I love everyone here, but like my family is also huge. So if my sister is somewhere else, my parents are somewhere else, and I have children, I want my family to be together. So
where's an ideal? Obviously, it's a conversation with your then wife.
Yeah.
Where's, if you could pick anywhere in the country to live, where would you live?
I've always liked North Carolina for some reason. Weather's good. People
East Coast,
chill.
baby.
I like Dallas, Texas a lot, or like a little bit outside Dallas, Texas. My coach Hani lives there, and we visited there, and it just seemed super like homegrown family, like good Southern Texas people, you know. But it'll depend. Courtney loves Arizona. I don't really love Arizona a lot. I liked where I live in Ottawa, but it's just winters are miserable. So
yeah, it'll
depend in like 3 or 4 years when we have kids and my sister starts having kids and my parents retire, where we're like all about settling.
You want kids?
I do, yeah.
How many?
2.
2?
I mean, I don't want to put expectations out there because I'll be grateful if I have any, but it would be nice to have 2.
Here's the big question. If you could, I know you're going to love them the same either way, but if the first child, would you, boy or girl, what would you, if you were like, you can choose, no one's going to get mad if you say the other one, just which one would you prefer, a boy or girl?
There's
first?
2 ways of thinking I have about this. Number 1, optimal perfect world, I would like to have a girl first.
Really?
And then a boy.
See, I always thought the boy first, so not that they need protecting, but so that this big strong brother can beat up all the guys trying to hit on the younger sister.
For sure.
You want the sister to beat up all the girls who are hitting on their younger brother.
Correct. Well, that reason is because I grew up with a very kind, humble father, and my mom was a little bit more of like, he calls her Chief. That's her nickname. Just leave that there. And a sister was also a very strong, confident personality, and then I was the little brother. So I grew up in a pretty like powerful female home, and that led to me having a lot of respect for women and like embracing both my masculine and feminine and trying to like being comfortable with that. And I think that made me a much better man. So maybe this is selfishly me hoping that second boy is going to be a better person for it, and the girl has to sacrifice.
Yeah, okay.
For it. But that's how I grew up, and I really loved my life that I had coming up. So I think that would be good to have my own family like that.
When do you think you would, if everything timed perfectly, when do you think you'd have children?
I'd be happy having children in like a year or 2.
oh shit.
This would depend on Courtney, you know?
Yeah, we actually want to surprise guys. We have a big announcement. Congratulations. Does she want a big family? Or just like one or two?
She goes back and forth sometimes. Like she'll like be like, it'd be so fun to have like 4 little kids running around. I'm like, yeah, but then you're outnumbered. Like that's a lot of work, you know?
Yeah, that is a lot.
And she's a much more nurturing, like caretaking woman. So it's going to be a lot of her responsibility.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to, I'm sure, be like providing and working and stuff. So
Yeah.
it'll be a deeper work for her at the end of the day. It would be both of us as a team, but realistically, she's taking on a little bit more of the load, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So it'll be a joint conversation.
Following the more traditional type of like path.
Yeah.
And so kids really soon, work's booming, man. It seems like everything is going super well for you, which is super exciting. Is there any other like hobbies you have outside of this world that people don't know about? You're a snowboarder.
Snowboarding.
I'm surprised.
That's an old love I picked up. Yeah.
I was actually surprised with how good you were. I mean, people are either falling every 5 seconds or like they can go down the mountain.
Yeah. You know, I snowboard. I started skiing at 4 years old, I think.
Snowboarding's way cooler than skiing.
Way cooler. That's why I changed. I'm like, Mom, all the cool kids are snowboarding.
Skiing's like yes, let's go get some wine after this. And
Yeah.
like let's go down the mountain. And snowboarders are like, yeah, dude, let's go.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I started skiing when I was like 4. Started snowboarding when I was like 10 or something because it was cooler and the cool kids were doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
And I've done it my whole life and I fucking love it. So that's definitely a hobby I love, but it's hard to do that every weekend living in Florida.
Yeah, it's hard to get significantly better. Like, oh, I want to try jumps or whatever because you go once or twice a year.
Yeah.
We all need to get a giant. I mean, it's hard to get everyone timelines wise, but snowboarding is one of my favorite hobbies that I get to do the least of. And it's
come to Aspen next year.
I know, no, 100%. We were just in Winter Park with a couple of my friends and my girlfriend. We rented like a place for like 4 days because Joe used to have a house up there, and now they have a car there. So we go to Winter Park, and we went like during like Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day week, and there was a 5-second wait for all the lifts, and there was no one there. It was amazing. But we tried teaching our girlfriends how to ski. I don't know how to ski. I also don't know how to teach someone. I'm just like, just stand up and balance and just don't fall down.
Lean that way.
And then the frustrations from her, which I knew, I was like, okay, you're going to get really frustrated, but I didn't process that your frustration is going to come out on me because I'm be like, okay, just like keep trying. They're like, I am trying. And I'm like, okay, we're going to get you a coach because we're going to get you a trainer because I am not doing this.
Yeah, it was the same with us. So every year, Dom always went to Aspen. I think his wife's dad had a condo there, and then they started going every year. Now I've kind of joined the tradition.
Yeah.
And then Charlie even came. Christian was supposed to come, but you know him, he bails on everything.
Trust me, I know. Yeah.
You know way better than I do. That's the only reason I know it. But yeah, we go every year, and Courtney had never skied in her life. So 2 years ago was the first time she came with us, and we just literally went up the top of the mountain on the chairlift, no bunny hill, nothing, and like sent her off, and she was pretty good.
We took them down like just a green, right? But apparently it's like the most advanced green in North America. The guy told us they got after 30 minutes we made it an 8th down the mountain, and we had to get snow patrol to come and take them because we're like, if we continue this path, it will take 3.5 hours to get down this mountain.
By the time we get down.
It's like when it was someone you care about, it's like I guess you put a lot more emphasis. Like when I grew up, if me and my friends would go snowboarding and they hadn't been snowboarding or whatever, it's just more of like, hey, we're going to leave you up here. We'll meet up with you in 4 hours. Figure it out. Bye. And like, that's the best way, I think.
Yeah.
But you can't do that with your significant other.
You cannot, no. And that's tough too, because like snowboarding is just like why I love it. Part of the reason, and I'm sure you too, you can just shut off on the mountain. You're so focused on the snow, listen to music, whatever, and you just rip, you know? But then if you're just like waiting for someone who sucks, you're just like, all right,
I had never experienced like being with someone who didn't know how to do it. And I was like, yeah, we need to get you a lot of lessons. So
right? But hey, babe, I got you instructions for the week. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's exactly it. But no, that's cool, man. Do you have any other like random hobbies people don't know about? Are you like artsy fartsy at all? Do you play any instruments? Draw?
No, I'm not.
Play any video games?
I'm not artsy
You reckon some 12-year-olds at Fortnite?
Through COVID, I played a lot of Warzone.
Okay.
With my boys, but that was just pretty much for the social connection of it. But I'm not a big video game guy. No, I try.
You're not going to get in. Diablo 4 is coming out soon.
Maybe I should get into those kind of, that's a role-playing game, or what is that? Or like a turn-based game.
Action RPG.
Action RPG, yeah.
It's like a cooler version of World of Warcraft.
Okay.
If you do that, you're kind of nerdy. Diablo's like, no, you're slaying demons and stuff, dude. There's blood and stuff. It's way cooler.
Yeah, no, I never got too deep into the video games, though. So I just honestly like chilling, doing nothing. hanging out with my dog and my girlfriend and fiance and watching Netflix and chilling, you know?
Yeah, does she ever correct you on that?
She does, yeah. But she says it too sometimes, so I call her out when she does too. But yeah, no, we just like to chill a lot. You know, we travel a lot and do a lot going on, so sometimes it's just fun to hang out and do nothing together.
Like my favorite hobby is just relaxing.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I think I'm going to kind of wrap it up here. I know you're a busy man with all the things you have going on. I want to thank you for coming on the show and letting me invade your beautiful office. Do you want to leave the people with anything like what's next? Any cool things coming up? This episode won't come out for a couple weeks, probably like almost a month. So,
no, I mean, we pretty much covered a lot of stuff. I appreciate you making the trek all the way down here so I didn't have to come out to Houston.
Bum Energy in April?
In April sometime.
And this is straight into retailers.
Yeah, it's being shipped to them right now, so it'll be in their stores probably in April. And then we're not doing it on a website; it'll just be on Amazon. So
yeah, shipping drinks is a bitch.
Leave it to Amazon.
It's a whole bitch.
Yeah, but no, yeah, appreciate you having me on. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and until next time, I guess.
That'll be it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this episode. All of Chris's businesses, socials will be down in the description. Let's get his Instagram stories to 3 million. I know we can do it.
I'll give all credit to you if they get there.
But if you're watching on any sort of podcast streaming service, make sure you give us a 5-star review. I don't know what it does, but I think it helps. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. New episodes every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Eat more sour strips and ever forward.
Rock and roll.
It's a wrap.
Beautiful. Oh, good timing because I was going to pee my pants.
Just go, bro. Just do it.
Just all over the